We acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region, and we pay our respects to all elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to Behind the Content podcast with myself, Lex.
And me, Mads.
Both experts in content creation with a combined 16 years of experience.
Join us as we bring you behind the scenes of our lives as business owners, deep diving into the rise of iPhone wedding content, aligning with your purpose, the wedding industry, and everything in between.
You'll hear from industry experts, talented creators, as well as couples sharing their journeys and insights from their own weddings.
Get comfy and let's grow together as we cover all things wedding content and more weekly.
Welcome everyone.
We're back.
Episode 3.
Yay!
Our first episode launched last night.
I say yep a lot. Yep.
Don't tell anyone what you do. Nah, you'll be fine. We're just learning. We're getting used to all the things. Yeah, we're just doing our best here. Today we are talking about 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a wedding content creator.
Yeah.
But first we'll do some little life updates.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a little affirmation card.
We're going to read a card. It's more of an angel card, but I still love them. They're like affirmations. They're just
because we're angels.
We are angels.
Cool. Life
How was
update.
your weekend? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, mine was actually really quiet. I blocked out the whole weekend for my family visiting, so it was so really nice. They were down.
Family time.
The cyclones in Queensland delayed them going back, so that was a bit of extra time. And then just a lot of pre-wedding meetings on Monday. That was good. It was, but it was exciting. Like, I've talked to each one of them. I'm like, oh my God, you are like my spirit animal. I love you so much.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
they're so
nice.
amazing.
So it didn't feel like work?
No, it didn't. I was like thinking of it like it was going to be a day full of hardcore meetings, but I just felt like talking to friends. It was great.
Love that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Life update for me. I got my ears pierced.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so good. First time ever?
Well, no, actually, it's like my 4th time. Same piercing. So yeah, when I was a kid, I had them pierced like a couple of different times because I kept getting infections and all these things. Anyway,
Yeah.
literally to the point where it was like not okay. It was just like another person growing behind my ear. Good times.
Another
38 years old.
person growing behind you.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
Jeez.
It was my twin.
We drew a little face on it.
Literally. So painful. And then I was walking past Hair House Warehouse in the plaza, and I had said to my friends beforehand, I was like, I really want to get my ears pierced months ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting my like jewelry
Yeah,
girly
you're in
phase.
your girly era.
And yeah, and one of them was like, nah, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. And then the other one was like, do it. And it was like a devil and angel on my shoulder. So I was like,
Why not?
fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And it literally didn't even hurt. I was like, she's like, okay, now take a deep breath. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so you're going to do it? She's like, oh, I did it. I was like, oh.
I'm like, no worries.
That was
Maybe
so not
I'm surprised you
painful.
didn't come in with like your whole ear done. You're like, go again.
It's so strange.
Do
Yeah, she's
another
like,
one.
this will start an addiction.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but you're probably right. So yeah, I feel that it was really interesting because I always thought it was more painful, like coming from my childhood experiences.
Yeah.
I was like, that was so painful. Oh my God, worst pain ever.
Go for the next one.
Yeah, and now I'm like, oh, that was really not too bad. So yeah, I've got my little 1 month, little studs in.
That's a good motto for life. It's
actually not as bad as you think
it's
it
not
is.
as bad as you think it is.
It was so nice.
Do it.
Yeah. And the other update is it's my 30th birthday on Sunday. On the 16th of March.
Oh
so
my God.
by the time this comes out, obviously it would be.
Yeah,
I'll
you'll
be 30.
be 30.
Yuck.
No,
I'm
it's good.
kidding.
30s are thriving. 30s are thriving.
Yeah, I think I'm getting my shit together finally after so many years.
I can't wait for that. Can I get my shit together now?
Yeah,
Nice.
good times. So yeah, it's my 30th on Sunday. Having a
What's the
party on
theme?
Saturday. It is a 70s disco themed, so I have my full get-up outfit situation. So obviously by the time this comes out, people will see on my socials, but I'm dressing up as Cher. So like
how
Cher from the
cool.
Cher Show vibes, very
Yes.
like Bob Mackie, dress, very sequins,
Love.
long black wig.
Nice.
Yeah, very straight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hair and it's a lot of sequins.
I'm so keen to see this.
It's so keen. I put the whole outfit on the other day, and I was like literally vibing. It was so good.
Are you going to perform? You're going to perform.
Yeah, I'll have a microphone because we'll be doing like speeches. I'll be a DJ.
Ooh.
We'll have the LED light up dance floor. I'm so excited because I saw it at Jackson Square like ages ago for an event. I was like, this is fucking sick.
Who's the DJ?
Yeah. My friend Mia, she's just starting out. So, yeah, she's doing me...
Go, Mia.
She's doing me a solid, and I've just been texting her, like, the whole week just with, like...
ideas.
Here's my bangers that I want.
This one?
Disco... shit. Disco and then some Greek music, and then and, like, the shots and also and stuff, and then we'll get into some R&B dance tunes. So
how good.
But it's going to be, like, 38 degrees, so I'm a little bit, like...
The wig, though.
Yeah, so we'll be fine. People will be drinking a lot, so
just
and
bring
the food's
a fan
going to be
around.
lit. Literally, I'm going to have to actually bring like a couple of handheld fans and just fucking because that wig is warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my life update. Very keen.
Yeah. Crazy.
Good times.
Awesome.
And we're in the middle of the wedding season, so
it's
just all happening.
It is all happening. The next 4 weekends are heckers.
For you,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but exciting.
We get used to it. Cool.
Right. And Robbie's in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Maddie's husband is in LA and Las Vegas.
Same. No. Yeah.
Nevada.
Still love him. But
if he comes back.
Please come back.
Yeah, you'll have like a face tattoo and
I'm picturing like that hangover. I'm like, dude. And I looked at my bank account. I'm like, okay, we still have money.
Yeah, check that joint account, peeps.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yep. Yeah, so good.
Cool. Should we do a card reading? Yes.
So you've got to take a deep breath.
Okay.
And hold it to your heart, like when you take a deep breath.
The card?
The card. Like the or the deck. The stack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then shuffle.
Just taking a sip of my coffee.
I'll shuffle actually, and then you can hold them to your chest, and then you hand them back, and then I hold them out, and then you pick one.
Okay. This is new for me, so...
Yeah, I'm the woo-woo. No, you're woo-woo too.
Yeah, but I don't have a card deck, you know? Like, I've got affirmation cards, but that's probably the gist of it, and, like, you know...
Yeah.
The Italian playing cards.
Oh, Brishkola? Do you play Brishkola?
Yeah, usually I play Scopper, because it's easier.
Yeah. Oh my god, we can play a game. Who wants to watch a whole episode of us just playing Italian cards?
Yeah, maybe.
No, maybe not.
Another time. Okay. So you're shuffling them around. Good
Put
times.
Them
okay.
On your chest and deep breath. Got it.
Okay. And then what do I do? Okay,
just deep breath, and then when you're ready, hand them back.
Feels good. Good times.
And then you got to pick one.
Okay. If I can reach. We need to sit closer. That one's calling out to me. Let's have a look.
It's calling.
It's called Modify, number 20. This is what it looks like, okay? It's like a unicorn, a lady on a horse. It's actually a Pegasus, and there's like swans and birds flying around. I don't know if maybe this camera can see it.
Hello. What number is that?
20.
20.
I'm just going to use this to fan myself.
Yeah, so that's a good idea. I'm going to keep mine on me.
Because it's a bit warm today in Adelaide.
Work on releasing your...
is warm. Okay, sorry. Giving everyone the weather update.
Hello, I'm here. Work on releasing your fears and learn to affirm the good in a situation. Positive emotions are linked to effort, focus, energy, and inspiration. Your emotions and actions influence your body. They can raise or lower your energy and impact your physical body and health. Positive thinking will enhance your energy. Fake it until you make it. That is, you may not feel happy or powerful, but act as if you are. When you make the adjustment and act as if you are happy, your mood will shift positively. Take steps to create positive change as you adjust to your new life. Are you holding on to past situations and dwelling on them? Be willing to release the past and let yourself change your thinking. It is important to remember that your soul is having a physical experience. Your physical body is not your soul. Work to embrace this belief and it will transform your attitude towards many things in life. A maiden flies on the back of a Pegasus. You're right. It is a Pegasus. Amid birds and angels. It is believed that Pegasus come from Atlantis. He represents the time of new consciousness. The angels bring awareness to how your thinking influences your world and what you have no control of. If you're stuck when it comes to modifying your viewpoint, call on your guardian angels. Angels can help you find the positive in any situation. The group is moving into the dawn of a new day. Fine-tune your thoughts, quiet your mind, and listen to your intuition. The feathers and wings acknowledge you have the freedom to push through this period.
That is like deep. And very...
Is it on point?
Detailed. Yeah.
Does it feel on point?
Yeah. I was making faces at the camera. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Literally me. Yeah, that's wild because I totally agree with the act as if.
Yeah.
And yes, I feel like lately when things are happening in life, like with clients or with whatever's going on, like crazy family stuff, I feel like that is so important to try to bring yourself out of, rather than letting your mood
impact
or like
everything.
your emotions like control you.
You
can actually change it for yourself
100%,
and then put yourself into like a different mindset. And I was like, oh my God.
And once you start believing that you're in a good mood, you just naturally will be.
Yeah, because if you like, you can think yourself into anything. You can think yourself into a good mood or a bad mood, so it's just about like what are you focusing on, where's your attention? So
it's a good takeaway for everyone, I think.
My God. Good start to the podcast. 10 things we wish we knew as a wedding content creator. Now,
it's actually 20.
It's actually 20.
It's actually 21.
Because it's, 10 for Maddie and 11 for me. So, I feel like you can kick us off, Maddie, with the 10 things that you wish you knew before becoming. We kind of amalgamated, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we
linked them.
We've linked, we know, and we share all of these. So really, you're getting a jam-packed session today.
Yeah, you're getting double for your money.
Yeah, double value, double trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Kick us off.
Number 1. I wish I knew how controversial content creators are going to be when we came into the industry. I was like, not ready for that.
That was interesting, is the word. I mean, look, like, I don't want to say that we're heroes, but...
We're not the main character, but no, we're really not. But, like, coming in, I was like, far out, this is... The way it looked was that it was a huge impact, and I guess in some ways it is a huge impact.
You know what? It's whenever there's something new in an industry that shakes up the norm. Yeah, people will have questions and people will have some fears around it as well. So I agree that it was controversial to start with, and it still is. But I felt that.
Do you like your fizzy drink fizzy or flat? I feel like we fizzed it up a bit, and like just something new to keep track of everything that's happening. Because
I think there's people in the industry that really just like what they've been in it for a long time. You know, it's very traditional. They are used to a certain kind of system. Essentially, most people have a really good growth mindset too, so there hasn't been too many problems. So I always think, like, if you're kind of I want to say, like, pushing against a certain new thing, like AI, for example, you can either take it on board and take it in your stride and go, okay, well, this is the thing now, so I just have to adapt, or push against it and then eventually get left behind. So I've been guilty of it before. Like, new things are scary. I'm like, apprehensive, and then new technologies, new ways of thinking. Everything. It's just something that you might have a bit of fear around it at first, and that might be something for you to work on as a limiting belief or whatever. But I think if there's some friction that you're feeling, like, as an industry provider, just come in with curiosity rather than judgment. I think that is 100%. Probably the main thing, because it is, being the person that is on the other side of the controversy as the content creator. We felt little. You feel like you don't belong in the beginning. I think now, obviously, there's a place for us, but especially 2 years ago, it was like so new. And at the end of the day, it's what the couple wants. If the couple wanted a bloody falcon at their wedding, they would get a falcon at their wedding. If they wanted to come in on a Pegasus, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Who's having a Pegasus? I want to come. Okay. Literally, I feel like I've seen some weddings where they like float in on a balloon knew what or something. They were. Remember that reel? And I think it was in Russia. Anyway, have you seen that? And that she's literally sitting on a plank,
and she's holding it in the balloon,
and she's got what the fuck? Crazy. Anyway, so do what you want.
Do what you want. Have who you want.
Yeah.
It's your
So
day.
content creators, you might be coming up with some controversy. You would know this if you've been in the content game for a while, or you just
if you're
are
just
starting
entering, it probably will be a bit easier.
Look, we're
but
here for you. We're the big sisters.
We're here for you.
We're here.
Message us.
We love you.
Number
2.
Number 2. How much space gets taken up on your phone using 4K?
Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I try to have at least 70 gigabytes free on my phone at all times.
Yeah, at least. And here I am carrying 3 hard drives.
The hard drives.
The bloody hard drives.
I'm not a hard drive gal.
No,
you are,
you're not.
So,
yeah, I like having them for backup.
Yeah, I like living on the edge. No.
She's just confident in her things.
I just don't, you know what, now I don't overshoot. I know I shoot enough, but not of the same thing all the time. But also, like, I'll know when I need to
Even
shoot
as a photographer,
more.
I still overshoot.
Of course. But
so I need to
think
stop
you'd
doing that
rather
in both.
overshoot than undershoot.
Yeah.
Especially doing photos, because then you can cull, whereas content, you know, you're giving them everything. So it's kind of like a lot.
Yeah.
If they're going through 2,000 videos over a full day.
Can't wait to talk about culling later on, because
yeah.
that's a big one.
Good times. Yes, so have storage on your phone. Upgrade your phone. I think the minimum now is 128 gigabytes for the new iPhone anyway. So
you're not going to be too
you'll
bad.
be
But if you
fine.
do, like, if you're like us and you're doing multiple wedding weekends, or you just need to be careful. Like,
I just delete like a week later off of my phone, just in case something hasn't transferred onto the drive. Yeah. Oh.
I think that's also why I like using the hard drives, because I know if I
True.
just back it up the next day, I don't have to think
It's
about
there.
saving. I can just delete it straight away,
Yeah.
which sucks, because then when I want to post reels and
I
stuff,
know.
I've got to go into the hard drive.
Yeah,
Or,
you have to
that's-
find it.
That's annoying, but now I just highlight. How fast phones can overheat on summer wedding days, or when overused.
The one thing that iPhone needs to get right is
A little fan inbuilt.
the temperature control. Because even I was driving the other day and my phone was plugged in, like, charging, and it was like, 36 degrees.
Internally
and
combusting.
my phone was like too hot to operate. I was like, what the fuck? It's sitting in the car
Hit the aircon.
with the aircon on, and it's plugged
frustrating.
in. So how is it going to compete in the sun?
It doesn't. It just turns off.
I
Hence
don't
the
know
second phone.
If anyone has any bright ideas, I think, actually, product idea. A phone case that is a cooling phone case.
like a
a
dog
little
bed.
freezer pack thing.
Like a freezer bed for a dog.
Yeah, for a dog.
Well, yeah, they have the cooling
Do
mats.
they?
Oh, sorry.
You
yes,
can
yeah.
get them for your bed as well.
Really?
Oh my God.
I like being really warm and cozy when
Can you imagine, like, it's not hot hands, it's cold phone, So, like, hot hands when you crack it and it gives you like heat.
Yes.
But phone case that is cold, you could freeze it, but it doesn't fuck up the phone. Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Trademark this.
Trademark
Sorry.
it. Don't
No
say
one do
that
this.
idea. We said it first.
But seriously,
Seriously.
we need something because,
I feel like
and that's why having a spare
spare
phone always helps because, one of them's going to die. And just making sure that your battery packs don't overheat too, because they be dangerous.
This is another shout out to Snap. It never goes hot.
Really?
Yeah, like I love it so much.
See, there's one I plug into my phone at the bottom, and then literally as soon as it's about to finish, like, fully charging, it's like fucking hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, no worries.
How important a brief is for understanding supporting couples. Like, I learned that through photos, but when I first started content, I wasn't doing a brief for content straight away. I was just...
What do you
Because I
mean?
show up like a content brief. Like you show up and you have
Separate to
reels
photos?
separate to photos.
Right.
So as the photographer,
Okay.
I was showing up and I just knew that I was going to have time to do my content in between.
Yep.
So I
Fair.
wasn't being specific. Like, they knew what reels they wanted. I knew what reels they wanted. But now it's like so busy. I'm like, I couldn't imagine not having a brief.
Yeah.
And I think just
Yeah.
start doing briefs from the beginning, because if you're not busy now, you will be, and that client experience is important.
Yeah, you want to have it all down because, the content will be different to photo.
Yeah.
Like the needs, I guess. Obviously, content is going to be as behind the scenes as possible, but I feel like there's still certain things that content can capture that photographers might not, like especially if they don't have a second shooter at cocktail hour. So, having the brief is... like, as just a wedding content creator in general, is literally gold on your wedding day. I have them sitting in my notes, ready to go. Sometimes I'll do a reels like checklist and make sure that I've captured everything I need to capture. So if it's something like, for reel number 3, it might be the first look video of like the dad, you know, seeing like the reaction for the bride in the morning. So I'm like, that is a definite like must capture. It's in my, like, it's fucking highlighted, bold, italicized. Do
not forget.
Do not miss this.
Yeah.
So I think having the brief, especially when you are recording speeches and ceremony, I know that I need to literally put that in bold every time I put a brief together. It takes me about half an hour to an hour to put a brief together for another creator. But that includes literally every single bit of information possible and then some. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's got to be really important for yourself as a content creator to have the specific sections of the day mapped out, even if it is just like tiny little reminders of like, you know, the detail shots or capture the, you know, during your portrait sessions, if you can quickly head off and go and get your reception.
And usually a photographer or the venue or the planner will be pretty cooperative if you want the timeline, which you should ask for the timeline.
You need the timeline.
Don't forget the timeline.
You need to chase up because really, as a content creator, I think we get forgotten a little bit in the supplier list of, you know, sending over things like the run sheet, the timeline, contact on the day, like who is the person to contact if you are, you know, running late or you can't find the venue or, you know, there's multiple entrances. Or you need to get the photographer's phone number because they might be off at portraits and then you've gone somewhere else and then you'd have lost them. Like, all of these things need to be within your reach at your fingertips. So, like, putting all of this stuff into a brief, plus your timings. So if you're coming a bit later or leaving earlier during the day, like, know where your timings are and what the couple has paid for because...
And how long it's going to take you to get between
venues, 100%.
Allow half an hour. If it's 10 minutes, allow half an hour.
I always just Google Maps it. Yeah. Like, we specifically charge travel fee in between locations. So we'll take out the package time. And so it's like an 8-hour package. It's not going to be 12 to 8. It's going to be... Like, if it's 12 to 8, it's because it's at one location and we're not moving. Yeah. If it's between venue A, B, C and D, then that 8 hours is going to stretch out based on how long it takes to get from A to B to C to D. Yeah. So it could be 10 minutes, like, you know, in the city, it could be from church to portraits to reception.
South Road allow 3 days.
Literally. So look it up when it's a busy time on your map, Google Maps. Yeah. And that will give you like an accurate reading of how long, and then just add 5 minutes onto that for parking and things like that too. Always a hot little tip. So yeah, sorry, went on a bit of a tangent there, but brief yourself, get the client to brief you, ask the right questions, and then you will be... Set. Preparation is key, especially if you're not feeling like super confident of like where you're going or you've never been to this venue before.
Prior planning prevents poor performance.
See, there you go.
Prior planning, say that 10 times.
So, prior planning prevents poor performance.
Yay! Yay! Put that on the wall.
Nice.
How many times do I say that? Put that on the wall.
We should do that for our warm-ups.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, happy couple comes from a clear brief.
It does. And then they feel so comfortable and safe.
So good.
This is more a lesson I learned.
Number 4?
No, 5 now.
Oh, 5.
We're up to 5.
Up to 5. Can't count.
This is kind of already links into what we already said about having upgraded phones and stuff, because I just said make sure you're using upgraded equipment because old equipment will fail and it won't be fast sometimes. So if you can...
Do you have a experience on that?
Only as a second backup phone, but still it was slow and the memory was full, so that slowed it down as well, and I was just like, the second phone was not useful throughout the whole day. So.
Yeah, totally.
The main phone was okay.
Yeah, and I feel like using old equipment is harder. Even like older gimbals and stuff, we've used like the DJI Osmo 3, and I'm like, it's just not as good as the 4. Yeah. It's like another $100, and I'm like, I just hate using the 3.
I remember I was at a wedding with, I think I was with Brady actually, and we spent literally 10 minutes before the ceremony trying to figure out my gimbal. It was an old gimbal that I bought, and we were like, why is it not working? I don't know, it's not working. And we were both just like throwing it around and shaking
it. That's so nice he was helping you.
Well, he was already, and I was like, okay, let's work this out now. Because he has gimbals, not quite the same, but... And then we ended up working it out just before, but it was doing this annoying like beepy thing. So I was like, I'm not using this. No, not during the whole ceremony. No thanks.
So work it out before you get to the wedding.
Yep. 6. Contracts. make sure you have contracts in place, especially if you have other creators and you want them to be fed and stuff like that, because it's just necessary.
I think contracts actually twofold there, one between your couples and one between your contractors, because if you have someone that's doing work for you, you need a contract in place with your contractor. Hello, it's in the fucking name.
Yeah.
So you need to have that in place. But yeah, for your couples, obviously it needs to be, I think, like specific things that whether they read it or not, who knows. I have, oh, she's going to sneeze. Oh my God. What was that? Was that a sneeze?
Yes.
That was really cute.
Oh, thanks.
It was like,
I thought you were going to say pathetic.
It was like,
Anyway, carry on.
Contracts.
Yes. Very important.
I think, having them obviously between your clients and knowing knowing what they're getting into, and everyone is on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And between your contractors.
Yeah. And then boundaries are set and everyone's happy. Everyone knows what's expected. So.
And I think something I need to add to my contracts is like revision amounts, because I mean, we don't get them often.
No, but just in case, touch wood, I haven't had them either, but it's just, if you do get a couple that wants 50,000 changes and stuff, you don't have time for that usually.
Yeah, because you're on to the next wedding.
Yeah.
So having those
and
specifics
also
in
they're
place.
Getting all the raw content, and at the end of the day, 21st century, most people know how to put a reel together. Yeah. So worst case, they have everything and they can make a reel. So
and I usually say to couples, like, I don't care if you don't use the audio that we use, because you can just put your own audio over the top when you're uploading on Instagram. But if they want it specific to like the beat and the feeling, blah blah, then it's going to be a bit more editing, because then you have to kind of reshuffle the actual content, the video frame durations and stuff like that. So have
that's the part that takes me the longest. Okay, this is more me than you, because you've always been like marketing and stuff, but getting on board with TikTok. Like, I'm still trying to get on board with TikTok, and I'm reminding myself to do stuff on there. So it's a work in progress.
I think we're literally just copying and pasting from Instagram onto TikTok at the moment. Like, I don't have a specific TikTok strategy. We really should, because it is, I mean, it's totally different. It's a different platform. It's a completely different platform to Instagram, and I think that you need to give some time to TikTok, because there are a lot of brides that are saving stuff on there.
Especially a lot of the younger brides as well. Like, everyone that's up and coming and starting to get engaged and stuff. So literally.
Like, they've got full folders of content for TikTok. So, that is a definite one that I would like to put some more time into, and I think hopefully that's going to be the winter.
Do you know what might encourage me to do that?
What's that?
If we make a TikTok for the
oh my god,
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Watch your space. We need to make a TikTok account as
Watch
well.
us be silly. 7, 8. We're on to 8. Good shoes. Your back will hurt. Already learnt this through photos. And also, don't tell the photographer and videographer that you're sore, because they're carrying so many heavy cameras. I didn't do that, but
I was, because I asked, I think it was just Mary, and I was like, because she had her forearm or something, or her wrist.
Oh my god!
A while ago. On a wedding. It was like a year ago maybe.
How would you even shoot all day?
And I was like, are you okay? She's like, literally, it's because cameras are so heavy. They're like, 7, 8 kilos.
My wrist, when I shoot, like, it gets so sore in here, and I'm like, it might just snap one day.
Do you know what, though? It's pretty good, I think, for your, like, when you get older, you know, and your wrist weakness and your grip gets really, I think, like, that's like your training.
Yeah. Or we deteriorate faster. Who knows?
Either way, I spoke to a photographer the other day, and she's getting shoulder surgery. So I was like, oh man,
the future's bright.
Yeah. So content creators have it pretty good.
Yeah.
The iPhone literally weighs like fucking 500 grams. It's not even anything. And then the gimbal might be another 500 grams. Just ask your photographer or videographer that you're working with if you can hold the camera for a second, and you'll fucking know that shit's heavy. Especially if you're going one-handed, and you've also got the harnesses on, and you've got 2 cameras on you. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Sometimes I try and be snazzy, and I like shoot with this one, and then have this one. I'm like, no, I'm not built for this. My arms are too. My arms
doing a Dutch
good for blurry shots though, and they're in
blurry shots and the Dutch angle or whatever.
The Dutch angle.
Angle. I don't know, perspective, whatever it's called. Dutch frame. Yes. So, Shoes, you said as well.
Shoes.
Yeah, look,
What do you wear? What shoes do you wear?
Look, I wore these in Europe because it was so fucking hot, and I actually wore these but similar on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because it was so hot, but also my feet got so dirty. Like, wearing sandals is nasty. So, yeah, just, you're going to have grotty feet. And I've seen people wear, like, I've seen some photographers wear Birks and sandals and stuff, and I'm like,
no.
I don't know about all day.
I could not.
I mean, I was only there for a few hours, so I wore sandals. Like, I know if it's a short job, I wear sandals. If it's a longer job, I'm going to wear my New Balances.
Yeah.
Either this actual sneaker version or, like, a nicer, pretty version.
Yeah.
So if I know where I'm going, but if it's somewhere like a venue where they've got grass and there's pavement, or pavers, I should say, I'm going to wear like nicer shoes because it's not going to get all like dirty and shit. Whereas if you're going to somewhere like on a estate or a farm or whatever, wear your shitty shoes. Wear the shoes that can get dirty, because you'll be very upset with yourself, and then you're probably not going to clean them straight away because you
get tired.
will be fucking tired when you get home.
Yeah.
And then the next wedding will come.
I don't know if it's the shape of my feet or what, but whenever I wear sandals, I think I've done it twice to a wedding, because I'm like a little speed walker, and I'll walk, and then my sandal would just slide off my foot and go down the grass. So I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no. So, yeah. If you're going to get sandals, get some good chunky platform
ones.
These are comfy. Or something with the... Yeah, look, these are a spend less... Special, yeah. And I've actually... You can see how thin the sole is now because I've worn them so much.
How good.
But then I got the rip-off... I guess it's a rip-off, I don't know, version at Target. And they had the exact same style, but it was in the brown. So I was like, all right.
Target feels bougie these days. Like
Target, the sole was a lot thicker, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So, yeah. And they've got fucking clearances on all the time. So just
good.
stock up on your sandals, girls and guys.
Yep.
No, I would not recommend a guy to wear sandals because no one wants to see
Robbie
a man's toes.
Robbie, did you hear that? Yeah, take that on board.
No, look, Joshua wears Birkenstocks, but
all the time. I looked at the photo when they arrived in Las Vegas. He's got socks and Birks on.
Socks and such a wog.
He is.
I was surprised he didn't have slides on.
Yeah, you know.
That's a wog move. But yeah, as a wedding professional, men specifically,
maybe shoes.
Please wear closed shoes because that shit ain't right.
Yeah.
No one wants to see those toes.
Yeah.
On their wedding day.
Unless they're painted.
Even then.
So with the hard drives that I do use, I know it's like a one-sided thing here, but make sure they can just connect through USB-C to your phone, just like super quick and easy.
I don't have that, but that's a great idea, and I will be looking into that in the winter.
So fun. And schedule time, again with the timeline, schedule time for, this is number 10, schedule time for TikToks and everything, because your timeline, if you request a timeline, you'll see there's nothing about content included in there. You're going to have to work out where you can slot that in. So that's important.
Yeah, you've got to like actually let the bride know, or the couple know, if they want to do a TikTok. We've said this in our last podcast, I think, talking about slotting that time in, like doing the transitions, doing the before and afters, all that jazz, that you're going to need to have someone, you know, aware of it, especially your photographer. If they've got a timeline and you've got a separate timeline, that shit is not going to go down well. So respect that. You have to tell the couple, do your due diligence, and then get that shit cemented in.
Yeah.
And if not, then just say to the couple, hey, like, you know, there's no time. If you're trying to squeeze in all this shit, you will not.
We ain't got no time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yep, nobody got. My grandpa's American, and now I'm just talking American accent all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 11, be open with the media team and understand their work is the priority. So know where you fucking sit on the list of
priority.
What do they call it? Like the
hierarchy.
No, like you know when like the shark, top of the food chain. Food chain. You're at the bottom. Right, as a content creator, you are bottom of the priority list, I want to say, like
in the media team.
Look, you're getting paid like a quarter, maybe a third of what the photographer and videographer are getting paid, and there's a lot of pressure on the photographer and videographer to deliver
what they're getting paid for,
the best version of what they can deliver. If you fuck with that at all, then it's not going to look good, for us as an industry of wedding content creators. So do us a solid. Don't be a cunt.
Please. Whoa.
Sorry. I say the C-bomb sometimes in an endearing way.
Endearing. Big sister ways.
And if you're listening and you're not in Australia, then just know that we use it as a form of,
connection.
Yeah, that's right. Like buddy or pal.
Buddy. Do not walk around the street saying
what up, cunt? Yes, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, the content creator is like bottom of the priority list. So, like, you have a place, you are obviously getting paid to be there, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you've just got to work around the photographers, usually the head honcho, they're like the kind of the captain of the day, setting the tone, the direction, everything, and the videographers working with them. Sometimes they are kind of par on par, which works.
Videographers sometimes don't talk as much as the photographer because they need a lot of movement, and if they're talking to the couple's looking at them, and we don't want the couple looking at the videographer all the time. So
even when they're like looking at the content creator, or at me or whatever, and I'm like, don't look at me, look over there.
I've had that, I've had to remind couples, stop looking at me.
We're not here.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, so be open and have really good communication. That's one of the things that I really drill into my creators is like, communicate always. Don't over communicate because that's annoying, but to the point where you're like, hey, am I good here? Can I get this shot? Are you all good? Then the photographer will usually reciprocate. Same with the videographer. Have you got your shot? You're all good. Am I on your way? Just making sure that you are aware of them and they're aware of you.
I don't know if I wrote it in there later on, but just give people their personal space. Don't, if that's the only thing you can remember, don't be over someone's shoulder. You're not in the it's not a paparazzi. I know it feels like it, but it doesn't have to be like a paparazzi. Just take a step back and get...
Yeah, and with time, as you get more confident as a creator, you will know, when you can kind of get in there, get your shot, be effective, leave. Yeah. You don't have to stand there and get them to do the same thing 10 times over. So just getting really efficient with the time that you do have to get the shot is really good. So, yes, understanding that, I think I personally don't agree with content creators giving direction unless it's something with the TikTok, whatever. I know that some do, which is fine. Or like you said last time, being able to, when the photographer asks for your opinion, that's really great.
If there's extra time and stuff.
Yeah. If you're like, oh, is there any other shot you want to get? That's great.
And I'll be so raw here as a photographer. Many will agree with me because I have these chats with people all the time. You go blank sometimes. You're working so fast throughout the day, and you got to get those shots, and you've got your shots that you get, and then there's a moment in time where you'll go blank, and then it's amazing if someone just pipes up and says, oh, can you do a spin, or can you do this? And that happens to me as a content creator for photographers when they're shooting and they go blank, and then because I shoot I can be like, oh, how about we do this? And then they love it because it just fills in a bit of quiet time where it's awkward.
You know what, actually, that reminds me of the wedding I had on Friday. I was the creator and there was a photographer, there was no videographer. And the couple were practicing their first dance, and they were trying to figure out how to do the lift, how he was going to lift her. Yeah. And he kept trying to do it. It was the funniest thing ever. This couple were so funny. They were laughing the whole day. They were just taking the piss. It was great. And he was trying to pick her up from her waist and lift, and I was like, that's not going to work. So he's trying to do it and it just failed. I was like, go from the bum. So I was like, pick her up from the arse, basically, her arse cheeks, and
get a feel.
He gave it a go, and it worked. It was really funny actually, because he spun her and then her veil kind of turned into a turban, and then it went over her face, and she was like, oh my God. It was hilarious. And then they did it in the dance, and I was like, I was cheering in the back silently. I was like, oh my God, it worked.
I helped with that.
But that was a moment in the portrait sessions where I could just help them at least figure out what to do later. And
I either
really
see people try lift from the waist or try lift from the knees.
Ouch. The knees?
Yes. I've seen, if they're standing on a platform or something and they're going to lift them up.
Oh my God, that's fucking, you send them over your shoulder.
Usually the bride's holding around their neck and stuff as well. But
okay, couples, if you're listening and you want to do a lift in your ceremony, go from the ass.
Yeah.
Grab that ass. So, cool. Anyway,
we really got our tangents. I love our tangents.
Sorry. It's all good. It's all value. Number 12, network and build relationships with everyone involved in the wedding, where you can get context for suppliers and build trust by sharing content with them. So I always like to get content of suppliers as they're working, or if they're like even the photo or media team, getting them some BTS, because no one's taking photos of them.
No.
They're doing the photos. So yeah, I think building a rapport is very important, building a relationship.
Yourself.
Yeah, actually, work with them on the day. Don't be shy. Like if you are a bit shy, okay, that's fine, but
you're paid to do a job, so
you're actually paid to like be able to communicate and get involved with everyone.
It's like
and
a cashier. Like I equivalent it to, imagine if you're a cashier at Coles and you show up and they say nothing to you. You know how you feel when they just don't look at you or talk to you or acknowledge you. It's like you feel like you're not really seen.
Or like you walk into a shop and they don't even say hello, and I'm like, or a coffee shop.
I don't want to buy anything from there.
You know what? Actually, that's really good. That's a really good way to look at it. Like if you're walking into a coffee shop and it's like they don't acknowledge you, I'm more likely going to walk out if I don't see anything or like anything.
Same.
Then if they start to, communicate with me as a human being. So
we're all humans.
That's right.
Even the most confident people have anxiety, so everyone feels how you have felt at one stage. Just look at it like that. Yeah.
So, again, don't be a cunt.
Is that number 3?
C-bomb number 3. But seriously, if you can, even before... So what I like to do before weddings is if I haven't worked with, or we haven't worked with a specific photographer or videographer, I will reach out to them and say, hey, so-and-so is working with you on this date for this wedding. Any questions, let me know, or like on the day, let them know. We're super open to, whatever you need. We're here to help, is basically what I'd say. So I think also that kind of just almost releases the tension between it, whether they know you're coming or not. Hopefully they do. But it just kind of primes the relationship in a way so that on the day you have the best outcome and the best rapport between the two of you. And the more that you work with suppliers, the more that you see... I mean, I saw suppliers the other day, like Chelsea from Easy As Events and Tanya from Tunes and Moves. She was a celebrant. And we were all just so excited to see each other. It was like so nice and so wholesome. They're like, oh my God, like you're here at this wedding. That's so cool.
It's the best.
Because I'm not really doing them that much.
Yeah.
So it was really lovely to... Even though I don't actually physically see them all the time, we interact on socials, DMing, or like... engaging with the content, their content, they're trying their best.
I feel like we're so lucky here too.
We're trying. Yeah.
It's like a big country town. Everyone just...
Yeah, Adelaide is a small town, big town.
I feel like we're slowly turning into another Melbourne though. Like it's getting there. We're getting so busy.
It's busy, but everyone knows each other still, so it's very like one
Don't do anything wrong. Everyone knows everyone.
And especially in weddings, wherever you are in the world, like your wedding industry community is gold to you, because they're only not going to... they're going to know what you are like on a wedding day. I
had 3 messages on the weekend if I could second shoot. Unfortunately, I couldn't help anyone this weekend. But it's just like so good to have that community, because you never know who's not going to be able to work a wedding or who's not going to be able to...
And staying top of mind is really important. So having that network and building those relationships is vital to your survival as a wedding content creator, let alone someone in the actual wedding industry. Like everyone has their little kind of groups. Obviously there's a bit of who you gravitate towards. I wouldn't say it's like cliques or anything.
No, not cliques,
it's just more like preferred suppliers or people that you have the same you have similar couples, like the style of couple that you have. There's so many different couples out there who have a different style and a different vibe, different weddings, or groups of friends who then have their weddings, blah blah blah. So eventually you'll figure out that you're going to work with the similar people over, whoever you attract.
Yeah, and if you have a team as well, that also comes in handy because from my perspective, I do a range at the moment. Like there's not one type for me, but I have creators that are well suited to each person and like couples' personalities, which is so good to have.
Yeah, like we've had a couple of my creators just... accidentally work with the same photographer like a couple of times. I'm like, oh cool, and like that's actually great. Yeah. I mean, I can't control everything, but if
next minute our email's like, okay, I request this one, and I request this one.
If I can control that, like if I know Dan Evans or Dean are on a shoot, I'll try and put them with people that they've worked with before, or like I'll try to remember. I mean, actually I should probably keep track of that note for next time. Anyway,
statistics.
Keeping on top of it. Anyway,
data. Relationships
are key. Number 13, you don't need all the gadgets. So you said you were offering film
guilty.
camera and digicam and camcorder as fucking hell, as well as iPhone footage, and you still have a couple of jobs like this. All bonuses, obviously, for the couple.
Yeah,
but not necessary.
Now they're not. Now
and
they're
the price.
add-ons.
It's got to be an add-on.
They're all add-ons now.
Jesus.
Like
okay, so how are you doing
octopus.
that? Like, yeah, how many arms
I
do you
had a really good system going. It was, and even a couple of the creators knew how to do it too. So you'd like do your quality iPhone footage,
first.
And then the ceremony is pretty long. So it's like how when I'm shooting a wedding, I have a shot list. It was like a shot list in my head, but for content. So I knew that I needed at least like 10 seconds of content on the video camera and a couple film photos. So it was like full on.
But how do you do? Okay, so for example, the first kiss.
Yeah, that's probably.
How do you do that at the same time?
Would literally just hold.
Yeah,
true, and it would work, but still, I don't do it now.
Yeah, look, I
pick one or the other if they do double.
I've done digicam stuff very rarely, only mainly for my Europe weddings. If it was like an elopement and not a crazy wedding, like with 200 people and all the stuff going on, because the camera will just die anyway. So I was okay with that, but then I would find that like I'd literally have the phone in one hand and the digicam in the other hand.
It's just not a vibe, not a good look.
And honestly, I would be looking in the because you can't focus on two things at once. It's impossible. I'd be looking at the digicam, and then my phone would kind of taper off to the side, because then I'm looking at getting the digicam footage, and then I'm like, fuck, iPhone's back in there, and then the digicam would kind of go. So
my thing was I hated
crazy.
Not being able to do a good zoom, like a romantic kind of zoom when I was using both at the same time.
Yeah, because both your hands are full.
Yep. So yeah, I'm glad it's an add-on now.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. Look, trying it is okay, but I've found when I have used it, some photographers get a bit about it, which is fair enough. It is it's a camera. I mean, it's an underwater camera. Yeah. Well, it's a digicam from like 2015.
Yeah.
And I just had it because I used it for when I was going on.
Do you know what kills me? The creators
holidays.
I've seen that bring no offense if you do this, but also offense a little bit. When you bring the actual Canon,
like a DSLR,
but it's like the mini one. Like it doesn't look like these.
Yeah,
but
the little cute one that you would do with your
but
friends
it's still
and stuff. No,
a proper professional camera, and I just couldn't.
Look, I will be honest. I had a photographer put on their story the other day. I'm not going to say who, but they put it on like a secret story, and it was like a content creator rocks up with a Super 8, and I was like,
what? Did that really happen?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. I messaged and I was like, oh my God, that's so annoying. So sorry that happened to you. And they were just, and then they had to they had to make a contract agreement for creators, like a specific creator contract agreement, which is so fair.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not needed.
I think
but after that instance, I'm not surprised.
There do need to be a couple more hoops for professional creators to jump through, I think.
Yeah, so,
not like, don't make it stupid, but a couple more hoops to weed out the ridiculous.
Content creators, take this note. Do not bring something unless the couple has either paid for it extra or the photographer and videographer know about it, because you're going to piss some people off.
Or just don't offer
offer it. It's just too much work. For yourself, just say to yourself, you don't need to do it. You don't. What is the need? The need is not there.
Yeah.
Especially if your photographer and videographer are offering film, ask the couple.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy. They know what they paid for. Hopefully.
Yeah. And what did you say the other day?
Yeah.
It's iPhone created content for iPhone viewing.
iPhone content for iPhone use.
Yeah.
Well,
put
got
that
a Samsung,
on the wall.
Whatever. Put that on the wall. But it's true, though. I think know where you're at in the grand scheme of this industry, because the lines can be very blurred very quickly and easily, and that's where things like this come up, and that's where tensions come up, especially with people that you're going to be working with all the time. So as content creators, the two of us, I think I can speak on behalf of both of us, is iPhone first, and then everything else. Please just be aware that you might make some enemies out of it. And just focus on getting really amazing quality iPhone content, because that's essentially what you're getting paid for anyway, not the film camera stuff, not the digicam, not the camcorder. And I've had couples ask us, can you also, we have a camcorder, can you film on this as well? And I said, look, thank you for offering us to do it, but I actually have declined this a couple of times now in the past, and I said, look, I'm happy for your friends, because they're like, oh, I might get a friend to do it if you can't do it.
Yeah.
So we could do it, but I'd rather your creator focus on getting beautiful iPhone quality content for the reels that we produce. So super happy for you guys to have a friend or someone dedicated to capturing the film content or the camcorder stuff on the day. Like, I don't mind personally. Maybe let your photographer know. That's all I say.
Yeah.
And they're so fine with that. So I think it's nice for them to let us know, but also, I'm not going to also take someone else's technology and then it becomes our responsibility. Something
Imagine
happens
just
to
break
it.
it. I'm so clumsy. Imagine if I just drop that and
like then figuring out how to use someone else's gadgets as well. No.
Yeah.
So it's a no from me.
Yeah.
Where are we? Number 14. Really going slow here.
We're going slow.
People/suppliers talking around the phone when filming. Just if someone is, not that people talk shit, but it's just like
no one talks shit, but everyone is everyone, and some people have big personalities and say funny things, and then you don't want it to be construed as something that it wasn't meant in the moment, you know? Like, no one says things
if we're
viciously.
Recording, you can hear the audio. That's basically
you can just hear everything. I used to go through and cull everything, and
yeah, she did.
We'll lead on to that.
But if something happens, or would you say sneezing, just delete it in the moment instead of waiting until later. That's so fair. So I think being able to if you've got
critique
something that you're like, oh, actually it's not a great video and the audio was a bit like meh, then just delete it straight away.
And there's two different views. Like, one view is showing, like, don't be ashamed of what anyone says, because people are who they are and things are said and happen for a reason and whatever. You shouldn't have to change history. But also, you don't want to put a supplier or someone in a bad light when that's not what they're like, and that's not ever something that was meant to come off however it was said. Or it's just privacy is just a bit nice, and couples don't need everything. It's like,
I think most suppliers know now, like, if they're around you and you're recording, like, they're going to shut up.
Yeah. Like, if they're stressed about setting up all these florals and stuff and something happens and there's a shit or something, you don't want to have to just swear.
Unless going to them. Number 15, culling your content is not necessary. Obviously, Maddie knows this. When we first started chatting, actually, when we first met, and she was telling me that she goes through all of the content.
I did go through now.
Whether she is capturing it or not.
Yeah.
And would cull every listen to every single one. Hours of content.
Hours of content.
I was like, that's fucking nuts. Also, not your responsibility.
I don't know if it was like a natural thing that I felt like I had to do, because with photos I cull photos, but then I don't know. It made so much sense when you were like, oh my god, just no. Dude. Now I just highlight and then put the highlights in a whole folder, and then they just have everything, all the raw stuff.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you'd have to mute stuff, or you felt like you had to mute things if someone was like you said, talking shit or doing whatever, or someone said something silly. Like, it's just so not your responsibility.
No, it's not. Like, I've had grandparents and stuff say some pretty cringe things, like, and I'm like,
oh my god.
And I felt like I had to delete, but now I just don't. Everything's in there for a reason.
That's right. And you might be like I said to you,
one day those things might be funny.
Yeah, and you might be stopping someone from hearing something that they should hear, maybe. Or just...
Yeah. Everyone's got different perspectives.
So, if you're a content creator that culls your content and it takes forever, you don't actually have to do that.
And I know I'm not the only one, because I have been a part of a group and I did see a lot of people doing it, and I'm sharing the knowledge now.
Seeps. I just say the more the merrier. I think the couple is happier with more content for video and photo. However, I guess it's just a matter of learning, like, what to shoot and when. You don't have to shoot all the time and every single second of the day, but knowing
what do you say, like at least 100
videos and photos, like, together per hour. So same. 80% video, 20% photos roughly.
Same.
That's a good rule of thumb. Where are we? Number 16. Filming the whole speeches / vows. Obviously, bring a tripod and set it up. Know that it uses a lot of memory, so don't film it on 4K. First of all, HD25 is fine.
Also, the lighting at that time will likely mean that you can't shoot on 4K anyway. Well,
it depends. Ceremony.
Depends. Oh, ceremony
might be okay. Vows. I mean, sorry, not vows. Speeches, though. Yeah. Lights are
I made that
flickering.
mistake. That's actually a big mistake I didn't put in. I didn't put that in my big mistakes.
What's that?
That I used to not change the phone settings, and then the flickering lights.
Oh, yeah.
So annoying.
We all learn. I used to just shoot in HD 25 because I was like, couldn't be bothered changing it from, so my default would be lower than the higher quality.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have any flickering lights, obviously, but then you're kind of, because it's only 25 frames per second, it just looks really clunky and kind of staggered and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, changing your settings always from day to night.
Learn your settings.
HD 25 still pisses me off, though, inside. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, knowing that ceremony takes up at least half an hour on your phone and setting that up on a spare phone and a phone stand while you're then using your phone to capture the actual, highlights of the ceremony.
Like people's reactions.
Yeah, reactions, tears, the walking up the aisle, the other partner's reaction at their wedding at the altar, all the different things that you actually get to move your phone around for.
Yeah.
Bringing a spare phone and doing this full ceremony rather than you standing there for half an hour.
And I would recommend if they have a videographer, do not even
don't
talk
do
them
it.
Out of it. Say you don't need us to capture that whole thing.
If you can avoid doing ceremony and speeches, fucking avoid it, because it is it's just an extra thing you have to think about. And we're now charging for it. We weren't before, but we are now, because it, like you said, it takes up storage, but it's just an extra thing that you have to worry about. Like every couple of minutes or 5 minutes, I'm going back to that camera during the ceremony or the speeches.
So that decreases the quality of what you're doing on the other phone.
So I'm thinking about, is this thing recording? Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Like, making sure that it's okay. And making sure that the other phone has to be fully charged. It has to have storage on it.
Yeah.
You have to send it from there to your drive. That takes up so much room that you're paying storage for. And you actually have to purchase the extra phone. Like, we have like 6 or 7 extra phones that I've had to pay for the refurbished ones, whatever. And they're not cheap. Like, getting an iPhone 12 or 13 is still like $500-$600 for a refurbished one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, per phone. So, yeah, charging additional is always good, because, especially if they're not having a videographer, then they're saving themselves so much money.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It would never be. So I only say it's just for them to use for their own memory, to like have a listen. Most people just want it for the audio anyway. But again, they're not mic'd up. So, yeah, however good quality the sound is up to, if it's an outdoor ceremony and it's windy, so be it. But just put it near the speaker, the celebrant or the priest or whoever.
Yeah.
And then your speeches, just have it close enough that you can see who's talking and the reaction of the couple wherever they're standing or sitting. Like, that's it, really.
I'm kind of torn about if there's not a videographer micing up sometimes.
If they've got a mic in their hand, I just wouldn't mic them.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because most of the time they will be talking into the microphone.
Yeah, so you'll hear it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, number 17. We're getting there. Videographers, they set up multiple cameras, okay? Just like our setup. So you knew this as a photographer.
Did I?
That's what it says in the notes. That obviously you know that there's a lot of cameras going on, especially for, again, those things like the ceremony and the speeches. They set up at least 2 cameras.
Yeah.
Or maybe. And then you have to be aware of where it is. So ask them, talk to them, before the ceremony, say, hey, have you got cameras set up? And like, I spoke to they're a couple.
Oh,
but
yeah, I know them.
Photographer on Saturday. Them. And he was like, yeah, you know what, even if you walk in front of the camera, like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Because we've got another camera over there.
Over there, yeah.
So,
but just don't stand in one spot in front of a camera the whole time.
Which you shouldn't be doing anyway, standing in one spot, because you're meant to be getting all the different angles. So
don't be afraid to move around.
Just be aware. Yeah. Awareness is key. Awareness and communication. Those are the 2 things you need to have.
So key.
So, again, talking to
your videographers. And if you have a professional creator in your area and you have your own business, some will be open to you shadowing them. Like, not fully behind them the whole day, but watching them at a wedding or something, like coming along. And, like, I know when I was a photographer learning, some photographers let me come in to shadow them, and I think that's so much safer than just coming in and expecting or thinking that you know everything and you don't need any help.
Please like if you're a new wedding content creator that you've never done a wedding before, like go and second shoot someone, or like go and work with another content creator in your area, and just say, hey, like I want to shadow you for free. I'll get content of you. I'll give you the extra content. I just want to learn, and I'm sure they would be fine with that, honestly. So, whenever we've got newbies, like part of our training process is for them to second shoot as much as they think they need it, and also how much I think they need it based on the reels and the content, because they edit from the get-go. And then I'll give them feedback. But if they feel confident and I feel confident that they're ready to do their own solo gig, I'll give them like a short one or a supplier gig to start with, something really like low pressure, build them up in the confidence. Because at the end of the day, the more competence they have, the more confident they're going to feel. The more confident they're going to feel, they're going to communicate much easier, and they're going to have much more awareness around the whole situation, what's going on. So
buddy system is great.
Exactly.
Love a buddy system.
Make friends. Amazing. What are we at? 18. Don't be invasive. Give photographers and videographers their space, which we just talked about earlier. But I guess as you being a photographer, you know what it's like to have your space invaders.
And I've heard stories. Like I met people on the weekend, and I was like, oh, like someone was over their shoulder the whole time with a camera.
Ew.
Just getting all the same stuff that the videographer was going to get anyway, or the photographer was going to get anyway. So just... Sorry, touch.
I feel like sometimes it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay sometimes.
Especially if you're like in a tight space, or you're doing the, the walk back up the aisle.
Oh yeah, that.
She's the tight one.
Plan that.
It's very tight. Okay. And we've had people get. I mean, I've heard the stories of creators bumping into photographers and videographers. Like it's a tight fucking aisle usually, so I always try to stay at the back, but make sure you're walking backwards. If you've got a gimbal, that's always the best case scenario, because otherwise you're gonna be fucking like this,
running all over the shop.
If
it's been really tight, I've just said to the girls, the back chair of the ceremony,
back chair, and just wait, and then just know when you're going to get into the shot of the photographer or videographer, and then step back. But sometimes it is harder when you're dealing with 3 or 4. Sometimes it's the second, which I don't agree with, having the second shooter doing the same photos as the photographer. Also the videographer, like, why are there 5 people
doing the same
shot? Like, go and get the, if they're at portraits, they're meant to be there to get another angle, and also to get, like, the cocktail hour canapes.
So baffling.
That I don't understand. But so don't be invasive. Be aware of your space. Obviously, it's just like a matter of, and the more photographers and videographers that you work with, the more you'll know the flow. Like you actually start to see they're there, you're there, they're there, you're there. It's kind of like this interchangeable thing that you're just swapping and sliding around and in between and across, and you just start to kind of feel that there's this flow between you, which is really, I love that moment when I recognize that there is this lovely flow between 2 or 3 of you. Yeah. That's like, oh, cool, we're all in sync.
And that's
like, this
also
is great.
Just built through good relationships as well.
Yeah.
So.
And you read each other's body language. Like, you just, over time, you get to know them and what they need. And then I really love working with James from House of Love, because he's always checking, like, hey, did you get that shot? You all good? Yeah. Like, they're always just really checking in with us, and it's so good. And a couple of other photographers and videographers that are great as well, super highly aware of you there, and the respect is there. I think that's also a main thing, is that when you are communicating with someone and there's a mutual respect between the two of you, it's just like this symbiosis of, you just feel this really nice flow going on. And connection. So again, just hammering down on the relationships part of there. And
seeing
respect.
A trend.
Number 19. Always be on the ball. You never know when a cute moment will happen. That's so true. I fucking hate when I miss a good moment because they were just being cute, and I'm like, wow,
dang it,
why weren't you doing that when I was recording? So stay curious and always look for creative ways to capture things. So knowing and seeing the big and the small moments, I think is
I think this is a
vital.
huge thing to mention as well. We always say bottom of the food chain with photographers, videographers, whatever. But if they're not doing something, don't think that you shouldn't be doing something. Like if they stop to change batteries, go or leave the room, that's your moment to make sure you get all the little behind the moments. Because the couple will then probably let their walls down, and that's when cute things will happen as well, because there's not a huge camera in their face.
Yeah, I think even just like roaming, if you're doing cocktail and canapes, you know, getting the guests interacting and then, you know, doing those little cheers moments. Love that.
Love that.
You know, just being aware of, you know, people walking and like grabbing. I love when people like grab food off of the plate, or hugging, and they see the couple, you know, after they've done their portrait session, and everyone's just so like happy, and the couple love those moments as well.
Because they're the ones they forget. They're the ones that don't make it in the full cut usually.
And like, a lot of them, I don't know about you, but couples tell me, oh, I really want to see the guest interactions.
Yes.
Like, because they're not there to look at them. They're there, you know, at this, you know, before the ceremony, there's people rocking up and saying hello. Their
reactions to what everything looks like.
Or like little kids running around. Like, it's just those little in-between shots.
Because you plan a whole wedding and you hear from like your guests, oh, it was so beautiful. But not often do people go into detail. So it's so nice to catch those little moments where someone's saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe they chose these flowers. Like I had these flowers, and like little things like this is cute.
Yeah. Well, they've got like little details in the cup, like they're using the fans or the parasols, like people are involved and interactive with your wedding. So I think those things are always really nice for the content creator to capture.
Yes.
And just always, I think, always looking for the moment or looking for the best angle possible, like looking for the light, looking for the frame, looking, you know, is this angle better like higher up, or is it better like down here? And just always moving. I mean, like get a good rhythm with your hips and your knees. Warm those bad boys up. Because getting low and getting higher and just mucking around with your, not just being super stagnant and being like, this is the shot because this is where I'm standing. Like, get creative, okay?
Yeah. Get creative.
Creativity is also key. I've said that a lot today, but I feel like there's a lot of key points here.
Curiosity, creativity, and community. CCC.
Humidity.
Community.
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 Connection. Connection's a good one.
Connection. Community.
Creativity.
See you next Tuesday. It's a C word.
That's 4.
I didn't say it.
She didn't say it.
I didn't say it. Sorry.
You can if you want. Do you need to let it out?
No.
We're very hot today.
It's really warm. Can you tell? We're just glowing.
Glowing!
Okay, number 20. Uploading, be slow, okay? Especially if you're filming 4K. That shit's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I know... you know, if I can be bothered, I'll try and upload as soon as I get home. I know you do the same.
Yeah.
Like literally dump from your phone to your computer, upload,
get that
go
shit
to
going.
Bed. Like, also make sure that your computer stays on all night.
Yeah. You think you'll be tired, but actually when you sit down and look at your computer, it's got this like magical thing where there's no blue screen, so you're just naturally awake as soon as the white light hits you in the face. So you won't be too tired to upload everything. You think you will be. Then you won't be able to go to sleep.
And sometimes my computer doesn't have enough storage on it for me to upload everything at the same time. So I usually, and I tell the girls, like, do it in chunks, do it in sections. So like pre-wedding, select all of that, upload it to the computer, upload it to the drive. Bang. There's like 200 and something.
But sometimes I actually don't feel guilty about linking. Like, obviously there'll be enough in there for the couple to start saying, oh, this is so cool, but I don't have to wait for everything to be uploaded. Like, I can just send them a link and say this, it'll keep rolling.
It's still happening, especially the raw stuff. Especially if you've done like a 6 to 10 hour day, you're going to have a lot of content, and if it is in 4K 60, like, forget about it. It's going to take forever. As long as, I think my priority is getting the reels in there, and like we do a couple of what we call film edit photos, which is very confusing. I understand that. But basically we just do the photos that we've taken on the day. This is just like a little value add. Through Dazcam.
Yep. That's what I use.
Literally like 10 of our favourite photos from the day, and then we put it into a filter, like a film filter, and send it off. Like, people, I think actually a couple
Rest in peace the film cameras I bought. I even bought one of those film cameras that like...
They're so different though, like, but it's real.
They are, they're real. But also there was this one I bought where I can't remember the name, flash cam, where it uploads, you take a whole roll and then it Bluetooths the photos all to your phone, and then they take 24 hours to upload, and then you send it through.
Really?
But then does cam
cool.
just as instant, so...
I think it's just, like, you can tell it is not real. But people still like it and they upload it, and then we just use it for, like, photos for our stories and stuff like that. So it's really not... like, someone's actually asked me, can you remove those and will the price change? Not like, oh, our... photographer is doing film, and I'm like, this is not film. It's a film edit filter.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't change the price because it literally takes like
2 seconds.
2 seconds to upload. So yeah, I think knowing that, yeah, your uploads are going to be slow, and then prioritizing. What I do sometimes, if my computer's uploading the raw content,
start making the reels.
And I'm making the reels obviously at the same time. If my reels are done, when you upload them into your computer, it's going to be at the end, right? Because the uploading goes by chronological when you have uploaded as you go, right? So what I do is I go on my phone in my Google Drive, and then I will upload it from there.
Smart.
So that way it's uploading on 2 devices.
Yeah.
So the raw content's uploading on my computer, and then the reels go up very quickly on my phone in the reels folder. Perfect. And then I can send it off, because then it's like, all right, cool. I don't have to wait fucking ages. 21, last one. Do not use shared albums. Not everyone has an iPhone.
That was a mistake I did.
Look, I actually have heard of people doing this early days. They're like, oh yeah, I just airdrop.
It seemed so
I'm like, what do you mean
easy.
you airdrop?
Yeah. Well,
they airdrop everything to the couple.
Then I feel like you go up to the couple before you go and be like, okay, here you go, here's everything. No, mine was...
No.
Yeah, I used to just think it was so easy because I had an Apple iPhone to add it all in and send them the link. It's not that easy. It doesn't really.
It takes time up on their wedding day.
Yeah.
Okay, no one wants that.
No.
I know. Yeah, I've heard creators say, oh yeah, I just airdrop on the day to the couple's phone, and I'm like, that just sounds like a disaster, because like airdrop doesn't work all the time. No. Especially for me, I'm just doing like a couple of bloody things between 2 phones, and it's like it failed or it doesn't connect, and then they have to have storage on their phone. Like, that's just not very nice.
No, you want seamless processes.
You pay for the storage, okay? Send it to the couple, give them a time, like same with your contracts, okay? I mean, we say 4 months. I have not deleted one album yet. I just pay for more storage
same.
as I go. I think we've got like a lot of terabytes going on Google Drive.
Devil on my shoulder. It's like, you might want that wedding from 5 years ago, and you might want to post something from 5 years ago. I'm like,
it's kind of like content hoarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just can't let it go. And I know a lot of photographers and videographers will be the same. They've just got drives and drives and drives of stuff they're never going to touch again.
Anything. I try to explain that to my family when I'm like, I'm just going to go buy another hard drive, and they're like, just delete something. No, I'm not deleting.
No, thank you. Yeah, so no shared albums or airdropping, I think, is key. Just put the fucking... I mean, we've got $12 a month on Google Drive, and it's like 2 terabytes, which is a lot.
It's pretty good.
It's
just it's tax write-off as well.
It is tax deductible. Hello. So yeah, avoid that if you can. I think it's just so much better for the couple and for yourself. Just back it up.
Yep.
Back it up.
Back it up. I'm really liking my hip hop today. Get low, fall.
Back that ass up.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that is everything. Yes.
Wow.
So good.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, 21.
21, because we're overachievers.
So 21 things we wish we knew before becoming wedding content creators.
Yes.
Hopefully that gives you some knowledge, some golden nuggets.
Yeah. There's a lot of golden nuggets in there.
I think there's a couple of nuggets in there.
There's a couple. And a couple of laughs.
A couple of nuggies. Yes. Next episode, we're going to be talking about our skill sets.
Yes.
And breaking it down.
It's very different paths in life before this stage. Yep. So it's so cool to share.
Good vibes. So, yes, if you liked the episode, rate us on the Spotifys, and I think we're going to go on Apple as well, which is good.
And TikTok.
And YouTube.
So all of it.
Like, subscribe, follow, all the things. Our Instagram handle is behindthecontent.pod. Follow us on there for all the sneaky peeks and good vibes. And she's going to sneeze again.
It didn't come.
Okay.
It didn't come out.
And all the good vibes. But if you have any questions or anything like that, you can also...
please send them through.
You can also email us. We have an email now.
We're on email.
It is behindthecontentpod@gmail.com.
It'll be in the show notes too. Just
yes, we'll put everything in
because
the
it'd be
show
so cool.
notes.
Actually, I'll mention next episode. Like that thing I saw, but it relates nothing to what we're talking about right now. So do next episode.
Stay tuned for the next episode. I didn't know what she's talking about.
Because I like sharing funny stories that are like things I read and see. So if you have an experience or something funny that's happened, send it in because we like to talk about it.
To come.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All the lols. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.